is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitzburg Squad. I'm Wesley Seeley, joined alongside Shane Smith. Thanks for joining us, guys. We kind of enter a new NFL season. We're kind of going to go over the season prediction, I guess just kind of go over our thoughts for the upcoming 2021 season, and then kind of just the roster so far. So, Shane, I want you to kick it off with the roster. What you think of our roster so far that we've assembled after the cuts?
So after the cuts, I know a lot of people are disappointed in certain people, but for me, I think we did pretty good. Number one, my favorite cut of all time. Jordan Berry's no longer a Steeler.
Yep, there we go. Get him out of here.
Presley Harvin wins it even after Jordan Berry talks smack because Presley Harvin is the season's MVP.
He is. Yep. He is quite the unit, ain't he?
He's at least going to be consistent.
Oh, yeah.
Which will overall help
It can't be any worse,
special
too,
teams.
right?
Exactly.
It's like we've tried the Jordan Berry experiment a couple seasons now, and
yes,
that's just
longer
taking its toll.
Way longer than we should have.
Yes, absolutely.
But otherwise, I like it. I like the pickup for Joe Schobert. I don't believe he played at all in the preseason, but that's completely fine with me. When he played for the Browns and then went to Jacksonville, I don't know quite how he did last year, but he's just overall a stout player, very good tackler, very sure tackler, and he's great in coverage. He always seems to, ball gets thrown in the middle of the field, somehow he winds up with it. It seems like more often than not, which I like a lot. We have our typicals, TJ, Cam, Alualu, Minka, Edmonds.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody can step up on that. We traded for that Witherspoon, which I feel like we didn't give up a whole lot. 2023 fifth round draft pick. So overall, I'm very excited for what it is. Whether all of our needs were taken care of, at least defensively, we felt pretty good. Offensively, we have most everybody there that's coming back. Najee, of course, we're all excited to see what he can do. And then my biggest concern, even though we got rid of some players in that, is still our offensive line. And where it may settle. I'm sure there's going to be some curveballs in the beginning, but hopefully we settle down. And I'm excited for the new roster that we have. So it's overall the same, but there's enough changes that kind of gives me a little bit of a spark and a little bit of
for sure. I mean, you think about it. I mean, starting on the offense, it's like we've got familiar faces as far as Ben. We've got Claypool and Juju and Deontay and James Washington, even Ebron coming back. We've got new pieces like Najee. We've got new pieces like Freiermuth. And then on offensive line, like you said, we've got a little bit of uncertainty, but some confidence because of Dotson being there last year and seeing what he's done so far this year as well, and hearing what's coming out of camp. Some good things coming out of camp about Dan Moore, the tackle that we picked up.
Trey Turner seems to have done
Trey Turner, the free agency acquisition. So, we've definitely had some pieces, and it's scary. I think what they say, only one returning, Corafor, was the only one from last year from that lineup. So, it is crazy. I mean, that's complete revamping of the offensive line. So, there's a lot of uncertainty there. But also, you look at our last year's offensive line, and it might have had something to do with the scheme too, but they weren't that great. So, I almost, I'd almost prefer just to have some young guys in there that want to show up and show out and be like, hey, everybody's doubting us, but hey, we're here to put in the work and we're here to do it. So
I don't think you can get much worse. And there's one other firing that we didn't talk about offensive-wise that deserves another clap.
Yeah, that's true.
Getting rid of Randy Fiechner. So
kidding. Yeah,
we've gotten rid of him. And so now we have a new offensive mind who I think will bring more than just your traditional bullarchy.
That part's huge, too. Mm-hmm. We trashed on Fiechner. We were wanting to make Fire Fiechner T-shirts last year. I mean, we were seriously just so dead set on that he was our problem.
Right.
So
even when we were winning, we knew he was our problem.
He was the issue.
And again, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but Ben through 3 series, and again, I know preseason's nothing to ride home about, but through 3 series, Ben's 2 out of 3 for scoring touchdowns. So
and I think it was still against Okudah and some of their starters on defense too. Right. I don't know a lot of the Lions starters, but I think it was a lot of their starters that were still in there at that point too. So
I would agree. And so it's one of those where it's like, listen, Ben performed well, and it was just a nice different change of pace and, a couple of different looks. Not that we're going to see everything.
Yeah. And he's Matt Kennedy's going to be calling from
from up top, a little different. So
that'll be a little bit of a change of pace than what we've had in the past too. So
yes,
offensively, I think we're on the same page. It's just like we're excited because we've got Ben back. We've got Najee, hopefully a revamped running game with a revamped line. Oh, Kendrick Green, I forgot about him too.
Yeah.
Our center. But, just a revamped line, a all-star of a running back, and then, a big target at Freiermuth for Ben. Just adding some pieces in offense is great. Changing the offensive coordinator. We're excited. A little bit of uncertainty for both of us, I think, there, but
certainly
definitely exciting.
Yeah, because, to me, and maybe you do the same sentiment, is we know what our defense is at that point, and I don't care for Keith Butler. I really don't think he's a great coordinator, but we have enough all-star pieces on our defense that our defense is our defense. It's a bend, don't break, and, it's going to be a top 10 defense, and it can, it can hold people pretty low scoring 80-90% of the time. So it's a matter of our offense pulling its hand, and most weeks, if we score 3 touchdowns, we should have victory in hand.
Yeah.
That's just my concern that I'm unsure of is, can our offense consistently do that, and can we stay in a good rhythm, because our defense is going to go out there and play lights out most of the time, and we need our offense to do the same.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, the defense too. I like the Witherspoon move. I feel like was a pretty good move. Yeah, bringing in Melvin Ingram, too, to be behind either TJ or Highsmith at this point, too.
And, he's played end in the past, if I'm not mistaken either. So, in a pinch, especially like with Tuitt being out for the first 3 weeks, he's pretty malleable, and, he's been a pretty good all-star for
if we decide to go 4-3 on something, that'd be awesome. But I think he was a super, low-key pickup that we had as an acquisition, and a good pickup, too, because I think you and I both love Highsmith, and we want him to start, but just throwing in the rotation, if it's a long drive and those guys are winded, throwing Ingram, that's a great addition to have, and have him in the substitution or rotation package there.
Absolutely.
Schobert, like you said, having him in there, interior, I think he's going to be taking the calls, even though Devin Bush is back.
Yeah, which just shows how smart Schobert is.
Yeah.
They said he was learning the playbook within days.
Mm-hmm.
It was just absolutely crazy. But I think it's smart just based on health-wise, just because Bush, he's going to fly all over the place in that, but you're also concerned, how healthy is he going to be? How's that knee going to be? And Schobert, as far as I know, and knock on wood, has been pretty healthy.
And also, too, the experience. Schobert's been there, done that for how long now?
I would say
6
at least
years, 5 years?
5-6 seasons,
yeah.
I would say so.
So they just having that experience and his football IQ, calling and communicating, rather than having, this would be his 3rd year, I guess, technically, for Devin Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Having the 3rd-year guy come in and, especially after missing basically all of last season, try to come in, communicate, and do everything again.
5 games or something.
Yeah, I think so. So I think just kind of letting Devin Bush come back in and kind of just roaming around and flying around, doing his thing, rather than worrying about communicating and everything like that, and doing pre-snap stuff. I think that'll be huge for him and his development too. So
yeah,
that's a good move. What do you think for offense? You got any prediction or any big time prediction for the offense for this season?
So
player or offense, I guess.
So for the offense, I'm gonna put it on a player basis to be on our success, and it comes down to the running game. So I know a lot of people are probably like, well, Ben's been there longer, we have a rookie running back, but we also need to get the running established. So I'm gonna say, just because we always run with a bell cow and we hardly ever substitute anybody in unless we have to. So I'm gonna say Najee. Season expectation for him, and maybe it's high expectations, I'm going to say 1,500 yards, 5 touchdowns, with 25 receptions.
Dang, okay.
I think he's going to be a big staple piece.
Okay. I'm going to go actually Najee too, because I think running game's huge. They've got to find some way, shape, or form to be, I'll say top 10 in rushing this year.
I would agree with that.
I think he needs to get 1,500 yards, and I think he'll even have more receptions than that.
Possibly. I got to thinking, we also have 17 games this year, not 16. That's still kind of thrown me for a loop.
Yep.
But yeah, I could
just
see
think
where he
like
might
Ben
have more.
giving it to him on short dump offs like he used to do with Lev Bell, like just here and there, and even just a broken down play, he's just kind of like the outlet. I don't know. I just see him getting a lot of little catches or even designed play catches. So, but yeah, I think it's gonna have to run through him. Like he's Ben's. I know everybody's talking about Ben's arm strength, and it drives me nuts. His arm strength is still there. It's completely fine.
I don't expect Ben this anymore to throw it 60, 70 yards. If he throws it 30 to 40 yards, that's a deep pass.
Yeah, and he's still got enough arm strength to bullet it that far too, though, I think. Like not just a loft or soft pass there. But I think his arm strength is completely fine. But you're going to get that from him. You know what you're going to get from Juju and Claypool and Deontay, hopefully no drops. But you know what you're going to get for the most part with them. It's like Najee's the one guy you're like, we know what he did in college. And we've seen him in preseason a little bit here and there. We like what we see. But Line and him we got to figure out how to get it done this year for rushing attack. So we were, dead last or something last year? If not dead last, it was second to last. It was bad.
I think we were dead last.
Like horrible. The worst we've ever finished.
I'm sure.
Season.
For sure. I don't even know if combined we had 1,000 yards between all of our rushing attacks. So
yeah, it was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I think the rushing too. What about the defense? What do you think for the defense?
Defense, it's going to be multiplayer faceted. I think the Steelers, we have the potential, especially with some of these new pieces in the back end coming in and linebacker and that. I think T.J. Watt is going to again lead the league in sacks, but I think Alex Highsmith will be the number 2 sack leader in the NFL.
Wow.
So I think the Steelers will have the top 1 and top number 2 for sacks for a combined between the two at least 30.
Wow, that'd be sweet. Okay, does TJ get Defensive Player of the Year then?
No. It's going to go to Aaron Donald. Doesn't matter if he has good doesn't matter that he has Jalen and all of that. They're going to say TJ had all this other stuff around him.
It's because he gets double teamed, right? Aaron Donald or something like that.
Donald gets triple teamed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
So no, he'll get it, and Alex Highsmith will do it, and Aaron Donald will be at least number 3rd, if not worse, and he'll still get Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's at this point, it's about right, man. It's about right. I think I was gonna go along with the sacks. I'm not so much individual, just as a team. I think we'll lead the league in sacks yet again.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just who we are.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be top 3 in overall defense again. I think we were 3rd and maybe last year in overall.
Between
defense.
3rd and 5th, somewhere around there.
I bet we'll finish top 3, and yeah, I think Alex Highsmith is my X factor, I guess, the
dark horse kind of thing.
Dark horse kind of nobody sees coming other than Steelers fans. They know what his potential and his ceiling is, but yeah, I think he's totally going to get double-digit sacks this year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I should say this because Bud didn't leave on a bad note. It's nothing against Bud. I like Bud. No. But he's going to make people forget about Bud. Mm-hmm. If they haven't already. I don't know.
It took Bud so long to get to where he was that he may have gotten overpaid. To the point where Alex, this is his 2nd year in, he was a 3rd-round pick and wasn't supposed to be much of anything, and he played pretty admirably. Mm-hmm. And then just through the preseason, he has just been on fire.
Dude, so looking fast.
Even when he was playing against starters and backups and that, he was just able to swim through or spin off or just so much quickness off the ball that if he wasn't hitting the quarterback, he was drawing that quarterback out, making him uncomfortable, and somebody else was hitting the quarterback.
Yeah. I don't know. I might be, just kind of rooting for Highsmith too hard here or too much, but he just looked quicker off the ball. His spin move's nasty, but his spin and getting to the quarterback or getting in there for pressure looked quicker than Bud, to me at least.
Who had the real sick spin moves? Was it Dwight Freeney?
Dwight Freeney, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because it does remind you of the Dwight Freeney spin. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he brings this year, but I think it is going to be double digits. So
yeah,
I don't know if I'll go 2nd in the league, but I think he'll be double digits. What did TJ have last year?
15.
15?
Yeah. And we got, again, one more game. So, I mean,
that's true.
That likelihood increases. So maybe, that's us going below the bar of what some people think. But at the same time, you don't know how the players and teams and that are going to adjust with that extra game. Are they going to, if it's near the end of the season and players are getting worn out because you have an early bye, are they going to say, okay, like, you're sitting the fourth quarter even though we're down because we need to preserve you? Like, it's still very much up in the air.
Right.
To where I'm just going to base off of gut feelings kind of thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yep, I get it, though. I mean, hopefully if everybody stays healthy, they should be breaking what they did last year because of that extra game, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
And then I guess, I want to go through real quick, just look at, like, what you think for a season record prediction.
Yep.
Because we do have the toughest schedule in the league this year.
Yep.
It has been completely...
Number one schedule. So nobody can complain this year because we apparently had the easiest or second easiest last year.
Yeah.
Between us and the Ravens, and people were giving us flack. So you know what? If we have a winning record and if we do real well, I don't want to hear any complaints. I don't want to hear about the refs. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about that because it happens in every game.
Yep.
It just seems like
and it happens to, every, 4 years, I guess it would happen. Every 4 or 8 years, you'd have that strength of schedule probably go in your favor at one point in time. So it is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a chance at it. But yeah, I have the schedule pulled up in front of me here, and I think you do too. But I don't know which way I want to go because I don't know if I want to say we're going to start off hot like we did last year or the season before and basically all other seasons where we start off bad and then we get hot at the end of the year.
Right.
And always like a December team.
Right. So kind of where like the first 4 to 5 weeks we kind of come out slow and it's literally iffy.
Yeah. It's like you don't know whether we're going to win or lose. Kind of looks rough. Finally just hitting our gear in about midway season. I don't know. It's tough. It's like I don't know which way I want to go. I'm going to say I guess I'm going to say
we're just going to be hot all season long.
There we go. 17-0, baby. I think we're probably going to start off a little iffy at first. We got that Bills game, and then we got Raiders and Bengals and Packers. I think we're going to start off a little iffy and then turn it on the end of the year. Not saying that we're obviously not going to lose because you have Titans, Chiefs, Browns, and Ravens to end the year.
Right.
Which is a tough stretch.
I will say for the Ravens, though, they lost J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, that was
so it's Gus Edwards, and I don't know who the other guy is behind Gus. So it's like one of those things where it's
Justice Hill.
Yes, and so like Hill's not bad, but you got Dobbins was a big contributor. You don't have Ingram anymore, so it's basically Lamar and Gus. So it kind of takes that 3 running back rotation out.
Yeah, true.
If you include Lamar as a running back.
Yeah, I do
because he's not a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback.
And so that makes it a little bit tougher for them as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where I could see, like last game of the season, like, they've already run the wheels off of Gus, and it may be to the point where Gus is, whether he's hurt, I hope not. Listen, people, I do play fantasy football. I have him on there. They're a running team. Listen, don't judge me.
That's the only reason, though.
Yes, screw the Ravens otherwise. But, they could run the wheels off of him, and then what happens when it's down to Hill and Lamar? Or, what if Lamar takes a heavy shot?
They'll sign Le'Veon Bell, don't worry. Wouldn't that be something? No.
I could see him doing it, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. They might bring Melvin Ingram's a free agent now, I think. So they
I don't think he wants to go back there, though.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe not. He'd basically plug and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be.
He'd already know the playbook. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good season, though, man. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it.
Good season. I'm excited, just to see all the new stuff that we're going to implement, new stuff we're going to have, new players that, are going to be playing an extended role. And
what's the thing you're most excited for?
Presley Harvin.
Really? Okay, Presley Harvin.
I am so excited just to get consistency in flipping the field.
Okay.
Because Barry, sure, he could boom it sometimes, but more often than not, I felt like if he boomed it and screwed it up, which again seemed to happen more often than not, our defense, which was good as it was, and bend don't break, we were starting 30, 40 half field, to where I think with Presley, more often than not, it's probably going to be 25 and in, maybe even 15 and in with how he's performed on it. And, I mean, just even through the preseason, I think he was like 3 or 4 yards better than Barry. And Barry was probably playing at his best.
Yeah, Barry didn't look that bad in the preseason for some reason.
Harvin was 3 to 4 yards average more than he was the entire time. Plus, he has that implementation where he's got an arm to where he could, you could run some fakes in that with him too.
Yep.
So, if more often than not, our defense is having to stop a team inside its own 20, we're going to have more success than not.
Yeah, no, I like it. I would say the thing I'm most excited about is probably Matt Canada and just having a new offensive coordinator. I'm seeing kind of nobody really knows, like teams don't know how to prepare for him. This is his first year as an offensive coordinator in the NFL.
Right.
It's like teams don't know. We don't even really know.
No, not
We're
at
just
all.
hoping it's better than Fiechner, and I don't know how it can be any worse. So
exactly.
We can both agree with that. So, and then also just like, this is an add-on to that, but just having Ben back for another year, like last year he did so much rehab with his arm that we maybe could, attributed to his, kind of falling off at the end of the season with that. And he threw so many passes before the season started. It's like now his arm said his arm's feeling even better, stronger than ever. Like he's feeling good. His diet or whatever they were coming out, he said he wasn't going to do avocado ice cream like Brady, but I guess he's been eating better and exercising. I don't know. I think it's just good. Like he's really showing that he's like really wanting to give it a last push and a last effort. So I like it. I'm excited. So
yeah, he seems to have that fire again. Something we like to see
for sure, man.
So.
Well, cool. I think that's all I got. You got anything else?
Yeah, no, not for this. So, just excited that football's back. Excited for the season. And excited to see what it brings.
Yeah, faux show, man. 11-6, 10-7.
Yep.
Okay, mark it down. Be sure to comment your predictions or your season predictions down below, and go Steelers.
Let's go Steelers.